Most criticized will do it just on one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. There's the voice of the people, and the voice of the people is the voice of God. This is the future. My brother, my sister, and I'm most excited to be with you. We catch them young and we feed them with the food of patriotism. And when they grow, they shall never depart from that. Now today we have a number of issues and I want to run through them as quickly as I can. This one I'm reading from Ghana Web, and it says President Mahama declares his assets, gives appointees March 31 deadline to do same. And I read President John Dramani Mahama on Tuesday, February 18, that is today, 2025, officially declared his assets in accordance with Article 286 of the 1992 Constitution of Ghana. Now, Article 286 mandates public office holders, including the president and his appointees, to complete and submit asset declaration forms to the Auditor General's office. Now, presenting his asset declaration forms to the Auditor General, Johnson Kwamwa Asiedu, on Tuesday, President Mahama pointed out that the declaration is essential to Ghana's fight against corruption. He indicated that in the past he used to declare his assets in private, but has chosen to do so publicly as an example to appointees and other persons required to declare their assets. In times past, I would privately present these forms to the Auditor General in fulfillment of my statutory obligation. I have taken the step of presenting these forms publicly as a way of injecting some openness and transparency into the process of asset declaration. I have maintained that while it is all well and good to punish corruption, a more effective way of addressing the canker is preventing it from occurring in the first place, he said. And he added, I honestly believe that if properly created and enforced, asset declaration can become a sustainable tool for tackling corruption. President Mahama does not cease to amaze me in the second coming. My brother, my sister, I have all of a sudden become a huge fan of the president. Unapologetically, can I just say that I am the biggest fan of this president? Knowing where this is coming from, I think you would appreciate it. Listen, man. This man was said to be one of the most corrupt leaders we ever had in this country, right? He was labeled as incompetent. His middle name became Dumso. He left office feeling so empty and dry. For 8 solid years, he was in oblivion like a hermit, praying night and day that the God that blessed Abraham and Moses should direct him and give him another chance to prove himself and to walk his ways. In his own words, I prayed to God and he accepted my prayer when I saw that in dreams that I had become president. So I cannot fail God. My brother, my sister, he said whilst he was in opposition, all the Christmas gifts stopped coming. The so-called friends who knocked on his door night and day to embrace him and to lick his boots. Remember, I did not say butts, I said boots. My brother, my sister, all those people, my brother, my sister, stopped short like the clock on grandfather's table. Hear this now. Now he was living like a hermit in the most secluded part of the cave. And when he got the opportunity to bounce back, there were some names he was never going to encourage. And those names I'll keep to myself for obvious reasons. Since Mahama became president again, And remember, before he even became president, I made it clear that he stood a unique opportunity to rewrite the political history of this country. A president who was once president, kicked out, he sat back for 8 years, never thinking of returning. Then he came back. My brother, my sister, it was a good opportunity to tell him, listen, Mr. President, it looks like we appreciate what you did in the past. This is an opportunity for you to do more. Come back. And I told him he couldn't let the people down. Remember all that? Today, Mr. President makes tears come out of my eyes. You know why? Number one, Mr. President has banned all his appointees from flying first class or business class. Number two, Mr. President has made it more than just clear, oh Lord God have mercy, that his appointees should be ready to be fired if they were in public to be arrogant, public service to be arrogant. He told them point blank, and much more. My brother, my sister, today I'm reading somewhere, graphic, online, the national communicator, and Mr. President is saying at a forum that Africa should start taking care of its own development. President Mahama urges Africa to finance its own development. And this, my brother, my sister, he is talking to African countries. My brother, my sister, now he has come out, leadership by example, declared his assets publicly, and is telling everyone to do same. This is a serious president. I admire you, Mr. President. I could go on and on and on and on and talk about your virtues. Look at oral. Look how my people are frightened. Dirty, corrupt people are having sleepless nights because this president has pulled out his sword from his scabbard, ready to slaughter people in slaughterhouses. Mr. President, if you continue like this, a monument awaits you in your own backyard. As for the monument in so many other places across Ghana and across Africa and beyond, you can't count, just like Kwame Nkrumah did. Mr. President, do everything in your power to live according to the whims and caprices, the dictates of the hearts of the populace. After all, they say the voice of the people is the voice of God. Remember, I am your biggest fan, Mr. President. There is something I'm reading here from my own treenews.com, the most authentic source of news online. Bright Simmons uncovers alleged illegal mining deals linked to former chief of staff's children. And I read, Imani Africa's Vice President Bright Simmons has released explosive findings detailing how much resources a company owned by the children of former chief of staff Frema Opare allegedly acquired a multi-million-dollar gold mining lease under questionable circumstances. Through a series of posts on X, formerly called Twitter, Simmons exposed how the Minerals Commission allegedly fast-tracked the lease process, disregarding crucial due diligence measures. Now, according to Simmons, Match Resources had no prior experience in mining or related industries. Now, despite this, the company was not required to provide the evidence of skilled mining personnel on its payroll or demonstrate financial capability to fund the $25.8 million American dollar initial investment it claimed to have planned. Please listen to this again. It's very important. According to Simmons, Match Resources had no prior experience in mining or related industries. Despite this, The company was not required to provide evidence of skilled mining personnel on its payroll or demonstrate financial capability to fund the 25.8 million American dollar initial investment it claimed to have planned. Instead of meeting rigorous industry standards, the company allegedly submitted basic financial projections and a general outline of its plans. Shockingly, this was deemed sufficient for them to be granted a lease covering 9,000 acres of gold-rich land, estimated to hold 745,000 ounces of recoverable gold. Raw gold. That's about 500,000 ounces of gold. At current market rates, the gold deposit is valued at approximately 1.38 billion American dollars. However, Match Resources feasibility studies reportedly estimated total operational costs at under 100 million, suggesting the company stood to make over $1 billion in pre-tax profits. My brother, my sister, we are our own enemies. We are too greedy. I can assure you that if this was 1979, the firing squad would be busy again with some of these people lined up with bullets racing through their brains and medulla oblongata. If this was 1979, some of them would be shaved with blunt instruments and blades at Gonda Barracks and beyond. If this was 79, some of these guys would be shot at the Air Force base and buried in unmarked graves, never ever to be remembered. If this was 79, my brother, it would only take an order from Jato to have all these guys shot and killed with no mercy. Ofri Jato would have done that. I am so shocked that the greedy people that we are, we cease to understand that greed gives us cancer. Greed gives us erectile problems, erectile dysfunction. Greed gives us liver cirrhosis, lung diseases, heart failures. My brother, don't bother yourself to go ask your doctor what gives cancer. Don't bother ask your doctor what gives liver cirrhosis. Is greed. This is Frema Opari. Frema Opari, who gave money to the arrogant Sarah Adjwasafo, as told to us by Canada Japan in her fidelity account, to pamper her and beg her to toe the line of the NPP. To Bright Siemens, I want to say thank you so much. Do we understand what this is? Due diligence was never made. They were supposed to prove that they had enough money to be given 9,000 acres of rich, gold-rich land. They didn't prove that. And again, the land was worth 1.38 billion American dollars worth of gold. But these thieves, sons of a former whatever, my brother, my sister, allegedly only said it was worth under 100 million. Should I take it again? Now the land, the amount of gold there is estimated at close to 1.40 billion American dollars worth of gold. But these thieves, as told to us by Bright Siemens, decided to say that the land was only rich up to under 100 million American dollars. And they went free. My brother, my sister, at a time when there was DDEP, At a time when Ghanaians were demonstrating, at a time when Galamsey was killing us, at a time when we were talking about illegal mining, we decided to give land concessions, gold concessions to people who had no prior knowledge of mining. You know what that means? That is Galamsey. If you have no knowledge of mining and you go mining, what are you doing? My brother, my sister, I'm glad that all these things are coming up. I want to see all these people suffer. Our country has no morals. Our country is so dirty. Our country has gone far into the doldrums. I am so ashamed. I pray for cancer for these people. All the thieves stealing the money and the wealth of this nation, may they have cancer. May they have erectile dysfunction. May they have liver cirrhosis. May they have vaginal cancer. May they have cancer of the medulla oblongata. May they continue to suffer. Hi, the millions of people who died because of their greed, may their ghosts rise and slap them every second. These dirty thieves. Why? There's something here I would like to close with. And it says, I'm reading this from Ghana Web. It says, let's accelerate process of enacting dual citizenship amendment bill. And you know who is talking? It's the Asin North MP that we all know. His name is James Jachikwason, right? I read. Now, the member of parliament for Asin North, James Jachikwason, has called upon his fellow members of the House to accelerate the process of enacting the dual citizenship amendment bill. Now, this initiative aims to eliminate existing restrictions and foster a more inclusive governance framework. Now, this bill, he explained, represented a critical step in acknowledging the contributions of Ghanaians in the diaspora and ensuring that they have equal opportunities to participate in democratic processes. Kwasin, in a statement on the floor of Parliament to commemorate this year's Black History Month on Friday, stated that the fight against dual citizenship restrictions on political ambitions was not a personal battle, but a national conversation. The MP indicated that our constitution, while a beacon of democracy, must evolve to reflect the global realities of our people. How do we marginalize those who have sought better opportunities abroad, yet remain deeply connected to Ghana? How do we exclude them from leadership when their hearts, skills, and resources are dedicated to building our nation? Now listen to the questions he asked. And I need you to open your ears attentively and listen. The MP indicated that our constitution, while a beacon of democracy, must evolve to reflect the global abilities of our people. How do we marginalize those who have sought better opportunities abroad, yet remain deeply connected to Ghana? How do we exclude them from leadership when their hearts, skills, and resources are dedicated to building our nation? He asked. Jachikwason, with all respect, you have a choice. You see, people like this are the demons of patriotism. This man here is a demon of patriotism. May I explain? Hey, this is Black History Month. And the guy here, who is supposed to be called an honorable, is telling us in this holy month of Pan-Africanism that abroad has what? Greener pastures. Listen to what he said carefully. People who have sought greener pastures. In his own words, he says, how do we marginalize those who have sought better opportunities abroad? Listen to this thing he's saying. He's saying that people have sought better opportunities abroad, yet they are still dedicated to Ghana's cause. How? I want to understand. Instead of telling us that you went out there to study and that you have come home to be able to help develop the country, you are telling us that you traveled out and sought out Ghana and became the citizen of another country. He's failing to tell us that. What is dual citizenship? It is shared loyalty. If you accept dual citizenship, then you should be able to accept dual loyalty. Those of you who say one man, one woman, dual citizenship is equivalent to one man, two women, or even more. With all respect to Muslims, it's dual loyalty. How can you be the citizen of America and be the citizen of England and citizen of Ghana at the same time? It must be crazy. In these times of Pan-Africanism, we expect every person who belongs to Africa and has a heart that beats for Africa to remain African and stay with Africa. It's simple. Dual citizenship must never be encouraged in this country. It's because of dual citizenship. That is why people like Jachikwason will continue running abroad for what, in his own words, he calls better opportunities. We want to create the better opportunities here. Let us remain here. Out of necessity, we shall build our own better opportunities. My brother, if a man sleeps outside and tests the vagaries of the weather, he would be in a hurry to build his own house. But if he has a shelter elsewhere, all other things remaining equal, he will tarry in building his own house like the proverbial vulture. Let wisdom speak. This is not time for dual citizenship. It's demonic for our cause of patriotism. You have a choice. If you want to be a Canadian, go and be a Canadian. You can't have your cake and eat it. Remember, I did not say you can't eat your cake and have it. That is incorrect. You can't have your cake and eat it. If there are better opportunities, go and grab the better opportunities and return home. The fact that you have decided to sell out your identity and become Canadian, that is enough to tell you that you don't belong to us anymore. You can come and do business with us. That's okay. After all, money has no color. But you will not be part of our deep politics and democracy, where you shall serve the two eagles and the motto of this nation. Have I made my point clear? Jachikwason is gradually becoming the demon of patriotism. Every now and then he's talking about dual citizenship. And this man left the country when he was only 25 years old, thereabout. He went and stayed in Canada for so many years. He didn't want to let go his Canadian citizenship, even though he was told that it was illegal to run for office in this country with a dual citizenship. He pushed his way through this illegality and he got elected. It took a whistleblower to blow his top and he was stripped off his colors. Please, it is not time for dual citizenship. We don't want it. Nkrumah didn't take it. And at the same time, all the great heroes of Pan-Africanism, they never took it. If anything at all, they renounced their American citizenships and came to embrace their Africanness. And I can mention a million people like that. Stop worrying our ears with this noise of dual citizenship.
Yabo!